Still 1,385 to 1,318. Almost, almost 11 o'clock. Hopefully we just get, is it possible like we get a big finger snap and all the results come in? Like, I don't know. It would be nice.
That's right.
It would be nice. So we can celebrate or be incredibly sad and nervous and scared. Yeah.
Yeah. Klobuchar's going to do good tonight, though, I think. That's feeling pretty good for her.
Yeah, Klobuchar's looking pretty good. Pete Buttigieg, people saying they're overperforming. Like, we don't know. We do not know. Because
it's only 2%.
Who?
It's only 2% in. So, like, Buttigieg could go down, like, all the way to, like, 6th place, you know. So
because I've heard pretty much every campaign except for Joe Biden say, oh, we're overperforming. But it's like, it's hard to say. We can't all be overperforming here. Yeah, we look.
Warren's doing better than Biden by a lot, which is.
Yeah, hopefully there's no screwing around here with this stuff, because that would really. Because it's just like it raises so much suspicion when you have all this time. It's not for those of you who are wondering like why we don't have any results, and if you're tuning in, like this is not normal. This is not the way it's supposed to be going by any stretch. We should have a lot more results in right now at this point. All right, I'm just looking at what just random anecdotes of precincts coming up. Ankeny 12, a suburb of Des Moines. Bernie Sanders supporters coming in. Joe Biden seats looking pretty empty. It's Ankeny. I don't know where that is, but yeah, Bernie, another big caucus support there. We just don't know. So suspenseful. And again, this is Iowa City. I think that's a university area. And Biden support is just like 5 people in the corner. So again, there could be. It's very funny.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah, Trump's gonna be going, bye, Biden.
Like old people, right? Let me
bye, Sleepy Joe. Bye, Sleepy Joe.
Get up.
Yeah, these people are. I don't know. It's kind of hard to see.
Probably not going to be viable. Those folks will then go into the middle.
And Klobuchar probably has like 6 next door. I mean, she actually has like a good amount of support.
Well, there's one person sitting in this video here. There's one person sitting in the bleachers in the corner. I can't really tell who that is, but it looks like there's a few women. There's like a teen on the ground playing on his phone. It looks like maybe that's like a mom or something like that. But yeah, Trump's probably sitting in the White House being like, bye, Sleepy Joe. Going to sleep, Sleepy Joe. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is not a good night for Biden. That's why
I saw another one. If Bloomberg gets the nomination, Trump's going to let every black person out of federal prison. That's a good one. That's from Leslie Lee on Twitter. Yeah, that would that'll be a smart electoral strategy. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Someone tweeting out, should I have one more scoop of ice cream? Libby Watson, former guest on the show. 1.5 goes with 1.5. Yeah, so it's all very exciting. It's all very exciting, and the whole thing with Bloomberg being an oligarch, and that's a debate that's really blowing up Twitter right now, which is very interesting. There's one diehard Michael Bennett fan in Marshalltown.
What the heck?
Jeff Harris is a substitute teacher. His wife's with Klobuchar. And he says, only need 19 more now for viability. Like, yeah, I'm rooting for that guy. Like, Bernie Sanders can lose in that precinct if we get the win from that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just really want to see that.
I'm shocked that he's actually still here.
Michael Bennett, yeah. I don't know why. Why is he still running?
Yeah.
Maybe he's pulling off some sort of prize.
All
right, Iowa City 15. Bernie Sanders won the Iowa City 15. It looks like at this point... the Iowa and 1 Des Moines precinct tonight, one attendee bought a concealed bottle of wine, dropped it, and it shattered everywhere. Oops. That's a little embarrassing. Dropped the wine all over the floor. Concealed too. It's pretty embarrassing. Follow Iowa starting line at IA starting line if you're on Twitter for that. It's very worth it. Biden on the verge of not being viable with the Johnson precinct and supporters being crushed. It's very sad. Like, imagine you caucus, you take all the trouble, and it's like your candidate's not even viable. Like, that really sucks. It really does suck.
Yeah. Yeah, Biden is not doing good.
Looks like Bernie Sanders in Des Moines, the final round estimates for him are approaching 69%, so that's pretty nice. Had to go there. The delay's still not really going, and it's like, yeah, it's very, very possible that Bernie, it seems like, could very well do it. And we talked about this. I do want to play this debate from the Lost episode previously. This is an interesting debate that we should see a lot more of. The oligarchy debate that was going on with Nina Turner trending on Twitter. I do want to play that for you because there were some pretty interesting fireworks about that, about who is an oligarch and technically an oligarch or not, which is funny. This is, again, Jason Johnson and the surrogate Nina Turner. Here's a clip. Let's take a look.
That I welcome the hatred of the elites because I am standing up for you. So cry me a river for the wealthy people in this country.
Nina, you work for a candidate who's part of the 1%. I have no problem with criticizing the system. The system that allows Mike Bloomberg to make all the money that he makes. The system.
And you should see Nina Turner's face during this. It's pretty insane.
Allows him to buy himself into the administration and buy himself into the debates is a problem. But to call him an oligarch, I think, is a misnomer in this environment. And again, you're working for somebody who's part of the 1%. Do you call him an oligarch? No, you don't. You say he's a rich guy. Because just because somebody has a tremendous amount of money doesn't mean that they're not necessarily representing the people. And if you want to use the term elite, you can use whatever kind of term that you want to use. But at the end of the day, the enemy of this country, the enemy of the poor, is not just everybody who happens to be rich. It is a capitalistic system that abuses people. And if you want to speak about that, that's fine. But if you want to name call people, that's not going to help Bernie if he becomes a nominee. And he's going to need Mike Bloomberg's money. If he's going to need Mike Bloomberg's money down the road.
It's ironic that you're defending somebody that is buying his way through the democracy. Yes, you are.
I know this works on Twitter because that's how you guys operate. But when it comes to actual campaign politics, it makes sense to actually describe people for the positions that they have.
Is this about a word?
Wow.
Is this about a word, Jason? Is this about a word?
No, it's not just about a word. It's about the implications of it. And it's
what an incredible debate there. So do you think that Michael Bloomberg is an oligarch? James Stanley?
You know that... Am I here? Let me see. Yeah, okay, I'm on. Let me see. I think that... You know what? I think that actually isn't too bad of a thing to say. I mean, it definitely is a little bit out there. But I
that Mike Bloomberg... I think
it's
so... like that Mike Bloomberg is an oligarch. I think that's pretty much indisputable, right? Because, like, he's buying his way through this election. Like, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, like that, you cannot...
But you know what? He's doing that to make himself look good, I think. But it's not making himself look good.
What I really think is it's kind of a fail-safe in case Bernie Sanders gets too close to the nomination. That's what I kind of feel there. Because it's like that could be someone who, if they get into a broker convention... and the super delegates are able to come back in on the second ballot, then that could be a real problem. So
super delegates. Speaking of that, it's so stupid how the Democrats do the primary. They should just do it like the Republicans, just the popular vote. Like,
they do it by the popular vote. I think that's a lot more effective because it's all because they took that big loss with George McGovern. They had to make those reforms, and the Republicans a little bit more successful because, I mean, I think the thing a lot of people don't get there was a good deal of sabotage going on with George McGovern as well back in that campaign. It'd be interesting to see if something similar happens with Bernie Sanders. But, yeah, so again, this guy, he spent $60 billion and bought the office of New York City mayor. He's worth $60 billion, sorry, and has now spent $250 million in just 2 months running for president. If Mike Bloomberg is not an oligarch, then... don't know who is. By the way, 65% of people going to this NBC entrance poll, they have not attended a caucus before. So that speaks well for people like Bernie Sanders and Andrew Yang in terms of support and garnering support there. But a big debate that's going to come in the near future is this whole thing about the possibility of the oligarchy label and the role of wealth, I think, in the Democratic primary. It looks like 58% of voters 45 and over, and 45 and under 42%. So could that? What do you think that means? For not that big a surprise, older voters winning out younger voters, but do you think this is really going to hurt Bernie that the younger voters are so low, according to this new Iowa caucus entrance poll here?
No, I don't think it's going to hurt Bernie at all, because Bernie's performing pretty well already so far in the caucus race. I mean, I don't think he's going to do bad in this race at all. I think he has enough support in Iowa that's going to really propel him to a win.
Yeah, honestly, like, when would this? Yeah, 10 p.m. was when we expected this would be ready. Mark Preston's CNN political analyst says, quote, "I have confidence in them, but I would say this. It is bringing in some concern, certainly wondering what exactly is happening now behind the scenes." Yeah, the Iowa Democrats are releasing more information about caucus results than usual this year. So Chalian here David Chalian says something is certainly clearly off from the plan. I'll say, like, this is not fun to be sitting here waiting and waiting and waiting. When I said there would be screaming and crying, I thought we would be able to, on Twitter today, I thought we would be able to get a little bit more sooner. That would be nice. But yeah, that is the narrative right now about what exactly could be going on with these Democratic primary results here. It's very, very weird. And hopefully, like, I think, how important do you think it is for, like, the electoral process that we get a good answer for this?
You asked about what electoral process we should be using?
Like no, the people for confidence, as confidence is concerned, how important is it that we get a good answer, good understanding of the electoral process here?
Well, I just think it's important, because I think people need to understand how the electoral process works, in order to understand how exactly our elections work in a, supposed efficient way, not all the time efficient. And I think that if we have people who understand the way in which it works, I think that is how we get a bigger and better turnout for honestly anyone who is running. But it seems like we should have more votes come in. I just wanted to bring that up to you. Bush is still in first, but
how many more
votes are sort of born.
Looks like Sanders also got a little bit
200
more. Quality control
altogether.
Seems to be what's going on right now for this, according to the New York Times here. 7 Democratic candidates again, they're mounting campaigns in the state. 41 delegates are up for grabs. Since the first modern caucuses in 1972, 2 parties have produced 18 different winners, 10 Democrats and 8 Republicans, according to the Des Moines Register. Only 3 of them would eventually win the presidency, but 7 of the 10 Democrats who win their caucuses later won the Democratic nomination, compared to just 3 of the Republicans. So it's more predictive of success when it comes to the nomination, in terms of the Democratic Party there. So that is a big deal. And I think it's very confidence boosting for whoever comes out to win this, especially if they, meaning more Bernie Sanders, could come on and win New Hampshire, which is certainly possible. The full statement here for we just got a full statement from Iowa Democratic Party Communications Director Mandy McClure. She said the delay in results is due to quality checks, and the party's decision to report 3 totals this year. Integrity of the results is paramount, said McClure. This is the full statement. The integrity of results is paramount. We are experiencing a delay in results due to quality checks and the fact that the IDP, Iowa Democratic Party, is reporting out 3 data sets for the first time. What we know right now is that about 25% of the precincts have reported, and early data indicates that turnout is on pace for 2016. So that's what we're getting right now. 25% of the precincts reported. Like, why can't we get the results of these 25 precincts that are reported? That's my question.
Yeah, honestly, I don't understand why we can't get anything the votes in normally, because it's taking a little bit of a long time, to be honest with you. I think people are just kind of eager to see what happens at this point. I mean, I am, at least.
Yeah.
And I don't remember it taking it this long with Bernie and Hillary. I mean, I do remember the results